Oh, hi. Oh, hello, YouTube. This is exciting. I've never done a YouTube live stream before. So, hello, and welcome to Red Carpet Living with Jen's first live stream. I put it in the description as well. I just finished recording the podcast with Sarah K Ramsey, which I'm really excited about because we met last week during the Renaissance Women's Summit in Nashville, Tennessee, in partnership with the Wandry at the Vanderbilt University with Boss Talks, which is the organization that I work with. Anyway, sorry, that's the back side of the story. So we discussed today um, toxic goals and breaking up with toxic goals. So her podcast is Toxic Person Proof, where she helps women identify toxic relationships in their lives and how to move past them. And, in the conversation, among other things, were multiple identities, right? Like when you're shifting from one person to the next, achieving your dreams, being the best self that you can be, a mom. It was, I think, one of my favorite conversations that I've had to date because it came on the heel of a really raw experience that I had yesterday. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Typically, if you are on my podcast, it's because you want to see me interview a local business owner, or I have some real estate updates or a listing or something that I wanted to promote in that aspect. But today I wanted to share with you guys about breaking up with goals. And I think that it's an important conversation to be had because I don't know about you, but I felt an intense amount of pressure yesterday to manifest on 2 Tuesday. And like the portal is open and all these energies are aligning for you to make your wildest and deepest desires come true. And instead, I felt so frustrated and resentful that I could not align myself within that energy to manifest and to take advantage of the celestial alignment that was 2 Tuesday. And instead, what I did was I scrapped all my goals. I got rid of all of them. I don't have a vision board right now. I don't have my list of goals for where I want to be in a month from now, in 2 and 3 for this quarter, for quarter four. And it's liberating. Now, there's obviously a caveat to that. I am not typically a person who plans. So I overdid the planning this year. And I think that that's where my catch, my fall, my catch fall, my catch all. Spanish is my first language. That's where I screwed up. So we'll just leave it at that. And essentially, what I noticed is that the goals and the visions and the intentions that I had for me, instead of me being propelled forward to them, I felt that they were pulling me back. Like I felt so attached and so drained and so assertive in wanting to make them come true in the way that I intended them to, the way that I wanted it to look like, and the path that I wanted to follow. Like it had to be this. And it didn't leave room for me to be my best self, which is ironic because you create goals to be your best self. But if your goal is making you not be your best self, then that's probably a huge sign that you need to recalibrate those goals or at least change them and realign to something where you can be your best self while you are becoming your best self. I think it's great to have motivation. I think it's great to have vision. I think it's wonderful to have intentions. But if the end result of having those and following that path and leaning in with that focus is causing you to be snappy, to be resentful, to be edgy, which I was very tense. I just felt like I wasn't gaining any traction. I was just watching things around me collapse, events, deals, prospects, leads, you name it, that it finally took me yesterday when it all, I think, cultivated in this moment where it's like, it's 2 Tuesday, manifest your life. And I'm like, no, I don't want to manifest anything. I'm over it. Right? I just felt really defeated. And I cried a lot and I journaled a lot and I worked in my shadows and I looked at some of the depth of that hurt that I was feeling yesterday. And when I traced it back, because I'm like, okay, when did this start happening? When did I feel disconnected? When did I not love what I was doing? When I traced it back to the beginning of the year, actually, if not mid December, where I had created these goals, when I had this vision, when I did all the things and I wrote them down and my vision board was there and they were not, they were not available to me with space and not having that space and not allowing for the magic of the unknown and not allowing, for source, God, universe, insert your X factor there. That's what she said. When you're not leaving room for that, then what do you have, right? You have somebody who could be bitter, who could be resentful, who could be really just snappy. And I realized it yesterday because I was snapping with my kids and I did not like that. I don't want for them to see me that way, right? My whole new vibe is I'm leaving a legacy behind, and I want to leave a parent behind that my kids can be proud of. And yesterday, I don't feel that I was a mom that they could have been proud of. And it was because of the attachment that I had to that goal. So, with that said, if you are at a place in your life where these goals are not speaking to you, you don't feel motivated to work for them, you don't feel motivated to smile throughout the struggles because you can do it, right? If you are comfortable being uncomfortable, then yes, there will be moments where even when you're faced with resistance, you're like, but I get to do this my way. If you're not feeling that with your goals, then you need to reevaluate them. Which is actually perfect timing because tomorrow we're hosting our first event at the Pavilion Grill in Boca Raton for Boss Talks for recalibrating your goals and learning to lean into alignment and focus and motivation in a space that is unique to you so that you can crush your goals for the rest of the year. So it happened in divine timing. I guess that was what 22 Tuesday was for me. I don't know if anybody else felt it, but I know that there was just like this looming kind of hanging funk that I was feeling that once I, cried, journaled, incensed, crystals, the works, things that I don't normally do, but I just felt so called to do yesterday because I'm like, we're done. We're clearing the space. I'm not attached to anything that I had envisioned before. Now I'm just going to let the course go the way it's meant to. All of that happened yesterday, but again, perfect timing because now I have the event tomorrow where I'm going to be taking full advantage of having that access with Coach Tiffany Taylor, of understanding how to get to that point without getting to the point that I got to yesterday. Because it's honestly, it's not a good feeling and you can't manifest out of that space anyway. So for people who are watching who are into the woo and energetics, and I know like salespeople for a long time have always been in that because it's your mindset, right? You want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward and your energy is going to speak before you get there. So for those of you who are following along with that, now tomorrow you have that opportunity to look at the strategic part of your goals, to look at demystifying how you can have that focus even when you don't want to have it. And for me, the response came in find goals that I can anchor myself in, find goals that I can persevere through and that pull me strong enough through so that the days where I don't want to do it, the days that I don't want to show up, the days that I am scared to do something new, the end result is so beautiful and so amazing and so satisfying in its being that I will say, okay, I will still do that. And I wasn't having that with these last ones. So that was exciting, guys. Okay, so that is it for today's Red Carpet Living with Jen live stream on YouTube. I will have another video coming out. Today's usually my recording day, so we'll be batching some stuff, but I did want to come out and share this with you guys. And once I get that interview aired on Sarah K Ramsey's podcast, and hopefully I will have her on mine, it was really a great conversation. And I think that a lot of women can benefit from that and men as well, right? Noticing toxic patterns, noticing things that if you recalibrate in your life, will just make it that much better. And that's what we want, right? We want a life that we're proud of and that makes us feel good while we're creating it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic week. If you're catching this on the replay, I put a question in the description. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I will catch you next week in live form or in pre-recorded. We'll see what happens. That's kind of my flow right now. I don't know, but I'll be here for sure. I'll catch you guys next week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope this helped you in one way or another to not feel guilty for not following the goals and the intentions that you had, and that's saying it's okay to change your mind because now you have new information. Now you are a new person and growth happens in discomfort. Okay. I'll catch you guys soon.